Hey folks, welcome to lesson 4 of the series 2 campfire guitar sessions. We're doing this during our COVID-19, so I just want to say thank you to everybody around the world for doing their part and not spreading this virus. Learning guitar, perfect. Today's an important lesson. Today we're going to learn the theory about how to find every singular note on the neck of your guitar. Not as hard as you think, but there's a few things to remember, and we will using what we learn from this into using our capo and accessing all of the keys that we need on the guitar. So this is really it's a great stepping stone that we're going to learn today. So there's a couple of things you got to memorize. Can you memorize the alphabet from A to G? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Just that's all you really need for that for now. You also want to memorize that there's some terminology, sharps and flats. Sharps means when you're going up the neck. Flats is used sometimes for when you're going down. They can be synonymous. We are not going to use the word flats because there's no need to confuse us anymore. We're just going to use sharps. You'll see when it comes into play. And so we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and after that it repeats itself. A guitar after an octave comes up to your 12th fret. You'll see on your guitar there's probably 2 dots at the 12th, and it just starts all over again. It's a different octave. So we need to learn from A to G, and what we need to memorize now is between B and C there are no sharps. Between E and F there's no sharps. So I'm going to put this up on the screen and then we'll talk some more. Hang on. So we've got A sharp, B, C. So between B and C no sharps. C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, between E and F, no sharps or flats, F sharp, G, G sharp. After G sharp, it just repeats itself. Then it goes to A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and repeats itself over and over and over. So you just got to try to remember between B and C. Maybe you can use an analogy of British Columbia for that, and something for E and F. Between B and C, E and F. So I'm going to show you now how you take these this and put that use into your guitar. We're going to use the 5th string, number 5. The 5th string. We're going to work off of that. So now when we look at our chart, that string played open is an A. We know that the 5th string equals A. When you come up a fret, 1 fret, it becomes A sharp. When you come up another fret, after A sharp comes B. When you get to the 3rd fret, it is C, because there's no sharps or flats between B and C, remember. So your C, remember that was our root note when we strummed the key of C. When you keep coming up the neck, at the 4th fret, it becomes C sharp. And when you're at the 5th fret, after C sharp comes D. So if that's a D, and our 4th string is a D, 1, 2, 3, 4 is a D. These two should sound the same. And sure enough, they do. So in the olden days, before they had tuners, That was one of the ways that you tuned your guitar, quite often at the 5th fret. So let's recap, and we're going to move right up the neck. So hang in there. Open, it's an A. So the next is A sharp. Then after that is a B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. No sharps or flats between E and F, so the next one is F. F sharp, G, G sharp. And after G sharp, it just repeats itself again. You're at an octave, so we go back to A. And there's your octave, your 12th fret. A open, A at the octave. If I want to keep going up the neck, it's just simple. You just keep following what we've been doing. We're at A sharp, B, C, and so forth up the neck. So let's recap your A string. You've got your A somewhere here on the screen. Then we are going to A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, no sharps or flats, F sharp, G, G sharp, and at the octave we're A again. We're one octave. And then we just continue on. A sharp, B, C, it just repeats itself. So that's every one of those notes, starting with A. Now if we go to our 6th string, okay, let's go to our 6th string, which is E. So now we look at our chart down here, and somewhere around here, there's probably going to be the E somewhere in there. And that's where we start. We just start at the E. So the E is open. The 1st fret would be F. No sharps or flats between E and F. After the F comes F sharp. After F sharp is G. Well, son of a gun, that's a root note for the G chord, remember? So we're at G. Now G sharp. Now A. If that's an A, it should match your 5th string. By God, it does. A sharp, B, next is C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and now we're back to E, 1 octave. And if you want to keep going, then it's F, you're just starting all over again. F sharp, G. No different than if you were going to use the thin string, your 1st string. Your 1st string E, obviously, is just the same as this. The first one is F, F sharp, G. These 2 strings are the same, they're both E's. So you just count it up. F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, etc. And if you want to do the G string, the 3rd string, the G, well then we start on wherever G is here. And after G comes G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, right, no sharps or flats, F sharp, and at the 12th fret again is your octave, so that's G. And if you want to start again, it just becomes G sharp, A, and it repeats itself. So we have confined on your 2nd string, which is a B string, so you find where B is. After B comes, no sharps or flats, it's C. Well, we use that in our C chord. sharp, D. Well, that's in our D chord. We were using that in our D chord. D sharp, E, etc. As we come up to the 12th, it'll be B again at 1 octave. And start over, C, etc. So now you have every note that you can find. If I played this note, if I played on the 5th fret of the 4th string, we could find out what note that is. 4th string is your D string. So start counting up from D is open, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. So on the 5th fret, that's a G note, and it should actually match your 3rd string, and it does. So you can find any note that you want here now. It's important to learn that. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it starts over after that. The thing to remember now, is there's no sharps or flats between British Columbia, BC, or E and F, if you can remember that. So it's great. Now that you know every note on the guitar, we're going to use this and learn how to capo. Things are going to get very interesting real quick here.